spoken for this today. Soft spoken for this today. Is this down enough? Put it down a little bit. Go like this. It can be down a little bit. Am I in center? Hi, Tate. Hello, Gerard. Hello, Potato Frog. I'm trying to figure out if I'm in center enough. Oh, my cat scared me. Okay. I'll have to tell you about my cat. He has been crazy today. I don't have the Band-Aid on anymore. Come here. He's been very naughty today. Something's wrong with him. Hi, Brock. Like he just hasn't been good today at all. This is gonna bug me. Okay, that's good. He's not been good today. I don't know how much you'll be able to see it, but he cut me deeply right here. Hi, Kodak. Hi, Peter. Earlier with his paw, and so, and I started bleeding. It's very deep cut, and then he goes up on like our dining room table over here, but he never goes up on the kitchen counters, but he used to a long time ago, but he's been doing that today. He just hasn't been good today. And he got into my mom's hamburger buns, so I'm like, I don't know what's going on with him. I know that the more I ignore him or like scold him, the worse he is. Like, he does more things that are bad, that he knows are bad, for attention. So I try to now I'm trying to just be nice to him so that he hopefully stops acting out. I would not, Peter. I don't know I can't blow up a balloon, so if you read though today's theme for the video, for the live stream, it is asking me for advice. So Mom, I was just thinking about that. I don't know, because he got over by where the napkins are too. Because he used to open up the fridge and the freezer as well. So I feel like we should put that back on if you still have that. I don't know why you would throw it away, because knowing Axel, you can always act up. I feel like we should put that back on, because he's also, like, when I've been opening the fridge, he's been trying to go inside of the fridge, which he typically doesn't do. Like, he's been trying to go inside of it, so I feel like we should put that back on, the thing for the freezer and fridge, so that he can't open it. I'm sorry, Peter, but I won't be doing anything with balloons. Also, one of my videos got taken off of YouTube for being considered inappropriate and sexual content, and it was something I filmed early last year or like late 2023. It's of me doing collarbone tracing, and they said that was sexual content intended for the purpose of sexual purposes. So they said that I got a warning, but if that happens again within the next 90 days on any of my, even though it's from a long time ago, but any video of mine, if anything gets flagged like that, then it will get taken down and I'll get a strike. Or they said another strike, but I don't need, before they said it was a warning. I don't know if it's a strike. I'm like, right? So what advice do you all have for me? What advice? What advice? What questions do you have for me? it wrong. Let me put it smaller over here. You could do it that way, or you could just put it in the chat. Hi, Austin. But if anybody has any advice that they need, that's the theme of the video, and that's what won in the poll for my members. My members vote on what they want the next live stream theme to be. And so this is the one that won. So if anybody has any advice, I can give you some advice. Any advice? Anybody need any advice right now? Do I drink coffee? I do not. I have to be careful with caffeine. The only time I ever have coffee is if it's an ice cream. I don't have coffee plain because I've never been able to. I have IBS. And I can't even do herbal teas anymore because it gives me heart palpitations. And coffee, the caffeine in it isn't good for my health issues. Not even just digestive, like everything. Like I'm pretty sure it would give me heart palpitations. I love the smell of coffee though. I would think it's actually a good thing I can't drink coffee, because I think I would drink coffee every single day and that would be expensive. Like drinking coffee, doing all that gets to be expensive, unless if you just go into the office and only have it at work. So for me, I don't drink coffee. Hi Danny, hi Rob. Do any of y'all have any advice? Let me know. This is the necklace that I'm wearing today. Rob, how am I doing? Today has not been a good day, just because my cat has been acting out so much. He has been so bad today, and it's put me in a very bad mood. Plus, I finally got certain tax documents in, so I have to do taxes later. And I'm not excited about that. As soon as I'm done with the live stream, I'm going to hop on and do taxes. This Aquarius new moon is kicking my butt. How old is my cat? He's going to turn 9 in April. So he's 8 right now, but in a couple, 2-3 months, yeah, just under 3 months, he'll turn 9. Hi, Sebastian. Well, it hasn't necessarily been a busy day. It's actually less of a busy day than it usually is for me. But it's just, now that I have my tax stuff, I just want to do that and get it out of the way. I always, yeah, I don't know. I just don't like doing taxes. I feel like, I know that in Canada they don't have to do taxes, like everything gets done by the government there, right? Why can't we just do that here? It makes no sense. He is not an outdoor cat. He's very much an indoor cat. Can you see him through my glasses? Right there. He's on his cat tower. But okay, in Canada, isn't it that, like, you don't personally have to do your taxes though? Isn't it somebody else does it? Like, you yourself don't have to do it? That's what I've heard just from people who live in Canada. I could be here. So that's advice I have for you. Don't miss out on doing your taxes, because, like, you always hear about how they don't go after the people who don't make much money. But I've also heard about that still happening to people who don't have money, like very much money, and they still get, like, what is it, audited, or like, yeah, and they have to like redo their taxes. It becomes a whole ordeal. interesting. I didn't think people in Canada had to do their own taxes. Like, I thought it got calculated for them. I guess I'm wrong then. Like, pre-calculated already, and like, for me, I have to do all the calculations and stuff myself. Outside, the snow has been melting. It won't likely completely melt by the time it's tomorrow, but we're expecting some snow this weekend, so yeah, I can see grass outside, dry grass, brown grass, high beats FN. Oh, that's nice, Austin. South African boys, hi. What's good? Just chilling, you know. Trying to be in better mood now as opposed to earlier today. Seamrab, do you mind me asking which country do you live in? You don't have to answer if you don't want to. But see, that's what I hear about in other countries, how they do that. How to pick yourself up when life gets boring. This is an interesting one for me, Danny, because I never get bored. I'm always, even if I sit there and am daydreaming and visualizing, I could do that literally forever, and I'm not even joking you. Take breaks for eating and drinking water and stuff. Like, I have a very vivid imagination. I have the opposite of aphantasia. I forgot what it's called. Super fantasia? I don't know. But it's where I can visualize very easily and very vividly. So for me, I don't get bored easily. I think the first instinct people have is to watch something or go on their phone. But if I were to say other than that, how to pick yourself up when life gets boring, I think the first thing you have to do is acknowledge that you feel the boredom instead of trying to run away from it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, instead of saying, no, I'm not bored, I can do this, this, and this, like acknowledging, hey, I feel bored. And then like sit with yourself and be like, what sounds good for me to do right now, and what is within my means to do right now? Like, things cost money, but what's something that's free, for example? So you can think, what's something free that I can do? What's something, also think outside the box. What's something you've never done, or what's something you don't typically do? And if any of those sound intriguing, you can try those. And even if they don't, it's something that can get you doing something. And then you can see maybe if you, with time, are doing a certain activity, maybe it will be less boring the more you do it. But first thing would be to ask yourself, why? Why am I feeling bored? Is it because we live in a very, at least speaking in American terms, a very capitalist, hustle culture society, so people always feel the need to be on the go and be working and doing things even outside of work? Is it because of that, you know? Always thinking out things like that. I'm just a chill girl. So today I'm doing, just basically you can ask me for advice and I'll give you some of that. Oh, that's cool. Bangladesh Desert painted. Nice. That's so cool. I'm just white. That's so cool though. You're multilingual then, or like, do you know any Spanish? Undertaker Gaming. I'm doing not the best today. Hi ASL. Burritos. My advice on how to sneak backstage at a Green Day concert would be to not do that. You have to remember that celebrities, regular people, we all have boundaries, and we all need to feel safe. So doing stuff like that, I've never understood why people do that, or like show up at the hotel that somebody's staying at, like a celebrity. Because I just think about if I were in that person's shoes, whether I was famous or not, I would feel so unsafe. So don't do that. Also, you might get banned forever. Green Day's great. You want to go to the concert and just enjoy the music. Zenith, how do you suppress your anger or impulses, like saying things you think about without meaning it? I mean, a common thing people do is counting to 10. Somebody that can help with this is if you look up Patrick Teehan on YouTube. He's a therapist, a licensed therapist and social worker, and he has really good videos about these kinds of things. For me, I actually, when I was younger, had really bad anger issues, and sometimes I can notice that they still slip out. There's also a difference though when you're like a woman or you're feminine presenting. People just think you're being difficult too. I don't know your gender, but I'm just saying, like, for the woman out there or feminine presenting people, It's like you have to always be prim and proper. So if you stand your ground, that doesn't mean you have anger issues. Anyway, what's helped me is identifying what makes me angry and where it stems from. So if somebody says something to me and I notice, maybe I don't, a lot of times if I'm getting really angry, I don't actually notice it in the moment. I notice it afterward. So if after these moments you sit with yourself and you're like, okay, I got really mad. Why did I get really mad? And a lot of times it's like it stems from something in childhood, whether it's from home or school life. And so thinking about that. And then when to identify it, it's more easily to identify those things in the moment. And then also if you need to apologize for things, and you can apologize as well. But also not shaming yourself when you do get really angry, just trying to do better. But yeah, identifying your triggers is really important. So then you don't have to get as angry next time. The more you identify what your triggers are and you notice them in the moment, the less angry you'll be. Also, if you realize that a lot of times other people have their own stuff going on, and a lot of people are very traumatized people too, and so that's why they act a certain way. So if I'm like, oh, like this person is saying this thing, but I'm not going to engage because I know that they're just triggered right now, like those kinds of things. But if you want a simpler answer, just counting to 10 before you give a response, like deep breathing and counting to 10. Spanish. That's crazy. Thank you, Kushina. You're welcome, Danny. You were in the do you mean in the mosh pit? Did they have mosh pits at the Green Day concerts? How was my childhood? Not good. I understand some of this. Like seriously, I used to have really bad anger issues when I was younger, for real. So I understand that. So like, yeah, just identifying those things. Also, don't be afraid to voice, if you feel comfortable with the other person, voicing like why you feel triggered or where it stems from. But if not, you don't have to. You can just be like, that triggered me, or I don't like that you had said that. But yeah, identifying your triggers is good. Hi, Ruben. Thank you, Sina. Hi, Carla. Ruben, I do remember you. Hi, Mara. The mess. I feel like you would be a good psychologist. Thank you. I think I would be. I thought about if I were to go back, I would maybe be a social worker, which is technically actually what my sister does for a nursing home right now. Even though she didn't go to school for being a social worker, she can still do that with her degree. So, hi, Husker and Tubby. Some mic brushing. Okay, I'll probably get the mic. Mara, I'm not the best today. Psychologists, there's not many good ones. I've never in my life had a good experience with a psychologist or a therapist. I just never have. And I think we need good ones, but also I think more people would go into that if they could get paid more. Some people only make like 40,000 USD a year, which is not enough money. If you could have any sort of profession, what would it be? What I'm doing right now. I really like doing ASMR. I like doing the triggers, but I also like being able to talk with you all like this. And yeah, so I like doing ASMR, and I like doing my pick a card readings on my holistic healing channel. Linked it down below. But yeah, I like doing those things. I feel like I was thinking about this earlier today too. I'm not good at many things. Some people are like very naturally gifted and talented at certain things. I honestly am not. I think I'm a kind person though, and I think what I am good at is ASMR, I think, in my opinion, at least my own version of it. That's the thing about ASMR, it's like, it's subjective. Also doing tarot readings, I'm able to get into a flow state with that, so that's really cool to do all that. Do I have any pets? I have my pet cat Axel. Yeah, not enough money, Danny. I don't know what you mean. A lot of change. Amelie. Thank you, Zenith. But of course, for any like mental health struggles that people have, I would recommend a therapist, but it's just hard because there aren't very many good therapists and a lot of people can't afford therapy or a good therapist. Heart for Turkey. He's named after Axl Rose. Yes. Hi, Abigail. Good to see you. Thank you, Oscar and Tubby. I think I've been saying Tabby, maybe. I don't know. Oscar and Tubby. Oscar and Tubby, I really appreciate that. I like to do different things. There's some people who will continuously do only one trigger, which I know I understand though, because that can be good for people that keep clicking on your videos and to keep coming back to your channel and subscribe. But I personally would not do well if I did that. I would probably get burnt out already by now. So that's why I like doing different things. You're welcome, Asana. Yes, and there's people who do talk. A lot of therapists just do talk therapy, which doesn't work for me. The last therapist I went to would spend at least half the time talking about her own life and what she had going on. It's like, okay, yes, I'm asking how you're doing and what you've been up to, but you should be like, let's focus on you. I have done better, but like I have very people-pleasing tendencies, so it's like if I'm gonna tell you my traumas, at least I can ask you how you're doing and I can ask about you. It's like, no, Brittney, that's not how it works. But even if I didn't ask, she would just talk about her life for half the time and she would try to sell me her essential oils. So you want to propose to your crush? Pro Cricket Club, first of all, are you even dating? You feel like mourning? What do you mean, Mara? Hi, Moaning Myrtle Love. What would you like to do in your free time other than ASMR? Other than ASMR, and other than doing my pick a card reading video stuff, like what do I do outside of my like work? I watch YouTube quite a bit. Also, RuPaul's Drag Race, there's always a season going on in some countries, so I'm always watching that with my mom. It's football season, so I like watching football. I love watching swimming. When I'm able to do that, I watch swimming. I try to give myself more Reiki nowadays. When it's warmer out, I go on walks. I hate when the wasps are out though. Bugs and stuff just love me for, I don't know, I emit something in my scent, I guess. Hi, Henry. So, I try to read, but it's hard for me to read. But yeah, mainly I like watching YouTube and also documentaries. I haven't done that much lately though. Also just reality TV, because I admit it, I do like watching it, but only certain ones. I don't like watching The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Like I'm watching Singles Inferno right now. I have to wait for the next. I like how they're doing it, by the way. They do 2 episodes a week for that instead of just everything all at once. And I'm catching up on Love is Blind Germany. I just finished episode 4. Just finished episode 4 before hopping on. There's 10 episodes of that. Also Minnesota, which is where I live. The Minnesota USA Love is Blind is coming up on February 14th, Valentine's Day. So that'll be interesting. That's okay, Morning Myrtle. Carla, were you in the live stream? Do you know about Singles Inferno? Danny, you wouldn't have guessed I like American football. Well, I am a bisexual. I'm just kidding. Also, but I'm kind of not. I feel like bisexual people, speaking from me, are more likely to watch sports. Bisexual, like a woman or feminine presenting people. Yeah, I like watching all kinds of sports. Yeah, football. There was this one therapist that would talk in the calmest voice to me, and she would say relax, and she would do breathing exercises with me. She was one of those therapists that catered to your needs. That's good. Henry, you live in Minnesota? That's cool. that's actually really cool, isn't it? Husker and Tubby, I know this is a weird question. Also, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm wearing certain leggings, and there's like fuzzy stuff on them, so I keep trying to get them off. But you wanted to know, and it's a weird question, but do you listen to other people's ASMR to relax, or do you listen to yours, or do you just not listen to ASMR at all? It's not a weird question. Yeah, I listen to other ASMR videos, usually at least once a day. A lot of times I'll listen during the day, and it'll help calm me down or help give me some tingles. I'm more likely to get tingles during the day. And when I'm laying in certain positions, if I'm laying fully down, I like usually can't. But, or, sometimes I will at night too. But, yeah, I watch other people's ASMR. It just depends on my mood. Like what kind I want to do, like talking, no talking, visuals, sounds, combination. Hi, Serious Face, Costa. Mara, I look happy today. That's good, because today's not a good day, but I appreciate that. It's better now that I'm talking to y'all, by the way. Yeah, where I mentioned it. Thank you, Yankees, Prod 24, Fuzzy Wuzzies, my favorite trigger Zenith, 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 Zenith, my favorite trigger, my favorite triggers, my favorite triggers, my favorite trigger Zenith is repetition. I love doing it. I love listening to it. I love doing it more than listening to it though. Yeah, if I'm excited too much or not feeling good, it's a nice mental chill reset kind of. Yeah. You're bipolar, so it helps, yeah. Yeah, glitchy. My favorite color, when I was growing up, was always like an ocean blue, but now it's either, depending on my mood, an ocean blue, a seafoam green, or like a dark green, foresty green. Thank you, Lindsay. There's people yelling at each other outside, and my cat is chilling on his cat tower, and his mouth is like, oh, that scared me. The reflection. That's okay, Hunter. It's okay. We're all doing our best. Hi, Afif. Mara, you might need glasses. Do you have glasses and you just don't wear them? My advice for you is to wear your glasses. I am glad I never got into wearing contacts because I was told I have sensitive eyes, and especially after my concussion, it probably would be best for me not to wear contacts. Plus, with my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, I feel like I hear stories about how it's easier for things to get stuck behind your eyes. Oopsies. I am so slay. My name isn't actually Husker and Tubby, those are the names of my pugs. Yep. Yes, I see that. Why no thanks, Mara. Thank you. Wait, some of which stories? Oh, yeah, the contacts. I wouldn't be able to. What? And like when people like cut parts of their finger off when they're cutting like vegetables or onions and stuff, I'm like, how do y'all stay sentient? I would faint. I wouldn't be able to move. I'd be like, I just hope somebody finds me and brings me to the hospital or something. I don't do good with like my senses being messed with like that. I've always, it's worse after my concussion. I don't know how to explain it. Like I wouldn't be good with that kind of stuff. Heck yeah, South African boys. Yeah. Even when I was a swimmer, I would just have people tell me what it says on the board, on the swimming board, like so that I would know when my event was coming up, or like what my time was. And I had a swim coach who would always get so mad at me for asking her like what event it was and all that. She'd be like, you need to get contacts. And it's like, I can't, but even if I could, like, why is it such a big deal? Bye, Under. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. After my concussion, like, That's what really triggered my Ehlers-Danlos stuff really bad, or at least again. And so when you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, you're a lot more likely to be, what do you call it, like, you're a lot more likely to not to be, how do I explain this? You're a lot more likely to not stay asleep if you have anesthesia. So I hope I never have surgery ever again in my life. And like pain meds can be harder to work. The last time I took pain meds was right after my concussion, and it made me like hallucinate, and it made me feel like not present. I'm like, so I haven't taken pain meds since then. Sounds terrifying. Yeah, hi Colin. So it's interesting, Danny. Technically, I should be more flexible. I'm hypermobile more than flexible. I'm most hypermobile in my arms, like my upper arms, and ooh, that felt good. And my shoulders. That's why swimming was so hard for me. I think I barely passed the Baton scale test for testing for hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, but I'm hypermobile more than flexible. I'm actually, like, I've never been able to do the splits. My sister used to be able to. I've never even been close. Especially as you grow older, like, your body becomes more tense, and especially I work out. I still stretch before and after I work out, but my muscles and tendons and all that are more tight, but they're still hypermobile. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, who cares what people say in terms of... Callie Grabowski wants me to stop streaming, but I will not be stopping. Thank you very much. I was gonna say something else too. I don't remember. That's good to hear, Henry. Is it different for every person? Ehlers-Danlos syndrome? Yeah, hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome can be different for every person. There's a scale, though, that's used to measure if people have Ehlers-Danlos, and if your parent or, like, a close family relative genetically to you has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, they're more likely to give you a diagnosis of that as well if you go in. Come here. Say hi to the people. Tell them how naughty you've been today. Yeah, tell them. Good night, Mara. Good to see you again. A spectrum. Yeah. It certainly is. And there's also different forms of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Thankfully, with research, they don't believe that having hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome affects your longevity, so it doesn't affect how long you live, but other forms do. Like if you have cardiovascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, you're more likely to pass away in your 30s. That's like a pretty average time to pass away, so thankfully, and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome isn't classified as genetic, but it basically is. So I don't know why it's not, but it should be. That doesn't mean that you are going to get it just because your parent had it, but you're a lot more likely to. And in the support groups that I'm in, a lot of times people talk about their children, or even their children getting diagnosed, and then them finding out that it's because of their genetics and their family line having a certain form of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But yeah. Oh yeah, vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. VEDS, that's what it's called. But yeah. Do cat ASMR? He keeps trying to go up here, but he knows he's not supposed to, so I'm holding him. Yeah, I would never have my own kids for many reasons. I also wouldn't personally adopt, but if I did have kids, I would adopt. He has his booty up against my booty. Yeah, I know, Carla. It's like, I don't know how, like, that would make me very depressed. I've always told, like my mom, if I, like, for example, or just, if I'm older and if I ever have a heart attack, I don't want to survive after that, because do you know how many complications people have after that? And how it affects your brain, like having a stroke or heart attack, and if, like, you aren't the same usually after. And you have to be monitored so heavily. It's like, I'm not somebody who's like, I'm not like, it's not because of depression, it's because it's like, that would be too, for me, I wouldn't want to deal with that. That's okay, Husker. He loves me, Zenith. Yeah, he better, because he's been naughty today. So that's why it's like I wasn't giving him as much pets earlier, or like talking to him as much, because he was being naughty, but then he just kept acting out. So hopefully, if I'm being really nice to him, he will calm down and stop acting out. So, repetition and routine and paying attention to what you listen to and think about and watching people you're around. Wait, what? He is warm. What do you mean, Henry? Carlos, do you have any advice on building up confidence for someone who struggles with low self-esteem? From my personal experience, what helped me was watching Drag Race. I'm not even kidding you. I have had low self-esteem watching Drag Race and seeing how confident people are, even if they're delusional, like thinking like they're a certain level of great, or that they're good at something and they're not. It's like, also what's helped me is loving myself, and if there's anything about myself that I haven't liked and I have the power to change and I want to change, changing those parts and learning to love myself on my journey here on this earth. Having a lot of more self-love has helped me have a lot more self-confidence, because if you love yourself, it doesn't matter as much about what other people say, and it doesn't matter as much what other people do or want you to do, because you believe in yourself and you can be with yourself at the end of the day. And just identifying who you are. I think a lot of people like know the things they like to do, but they don't know who they are. Like, how would you identify yourself? How would you describe yourself to other people, and how would other people describe you, and is it in a way that you would find favorable? So liking yourself helps. Liking yourself and loving yourself. You don't always have to like yourself, but you should always love yourself. Yeah. And forgiving yourself for things that you've done that aren't great. But yeah, literally getting to a place where you don't care about what other people say or think, or it comes secondary to what you think and feel, at the very least. That's what's important. Helps a lot to scroll up. Yeah, I don't think I'd have my own kids. Oh, about having your own kids. Yeah. I'm a nurse. There was a lady that had a stroke at the age of 40. She was bedbound in 69. You're a nurse, Carla. Thank you so much. Like, literally, I would not be able to be in the medical field. I would literally suck so bad. And I'm gonna be honest, I've been to hospitals a lot for like ER visits. Not like a lot, but quite a bit. More than I feel like the average person my age. I've never broken a bone, but yeah. And I have never had a good experience at an ER. And the nurses, a lot of times, are not great. The best experience I've had was at a clinic where I was having to get blood drawn, and I'm really not good with that kind of stuff. And it was a guy nurse, which, doesn't it suck, Carla? There's a win for the men. The best nurse I've had was a male nurse. I'm just kidding, y'all, but seriously. So, and I've been with my sister before to the ER, and the nurses have been not great. The ones at the clinic are like fine at the ones I've been to, or they're good and they're nice, but yeah, I haven't had good experiences with people in the medical field, so we need good people like you. I bet you'd literally be such a good nurse. Do you think that saying that an owner's pet's personality matches their owner's personality? Hi, Jaden. Yeah, the damage can be brutal, Carla. Yeah, I know. And even if unless if it's literally like minor, But even then, I'd be scared of it happening again because it's more likely to happen again if you've experienced that before. Also, some people are literally genetically predisposed to those kinds of things happening. Like, there's that guy that was one of those personal trainers on America's Biggest Loser. Bad show, by the way. And he ended up having, like, in his early or mid-40s, having a heart attack or a stroke. So it's like... And he's in great shape. He's literally in great shape. They hired him to be a personal trainer on the show. So it's like, that freaking sucks. Do you want me to stop petting you? Is that why you moved? I'll stop petting you. I'll stop. You're drooling from your mouth, honey. It's almost like you're feral. You're drooling. I see it. I see you drooling. I do. I see you drooling. I see you drooling. Yo, look at how fluffy he is. Can you tell? Anyway, I was gonna say something. Yeah, I think personalities oftentimes do match, and I think pets and pet parents find each other for a reason. He's meant to be in this family. It's just that he's a naughty boy. He's just so smart. Part of what makes him so naughty is that he's so smart. He's the smartest cat I've ever met. People say orange cats are dumb. It's like, no, they're just silly and goofy, but he's literally the smartest cat I've ever met in my life. He could open the fridge and freezer if he wanted to. He can open cabinets. He knows where things are. He's crazy. Yeah, staying positive and being grateful for being alive and being able to move forward is a good one. Loving yourself is huge. Forgiving yourself and trying to be better each day. And don't ever change yourself for someone else. Right, that's the thing too. Changing yourself because you want to have a change, not because other people want you to change. What books do I like to read? I don't really read. When I do read, it's like I like reading self-help or educational books. I'm still reading the autobiography of Katie Ledecky, an Olympic swimmer, one of the greatest women swimmers in history, who's still swimming, who's expecting to swim at the next Olympics as well. She does long distance events. And oh god, that's a whole different thing. People accuse her of being trans and not disclosing it. She's one of those people that certain right-wing people say is trans, even though she's not. Just because she's fast and she doesn't look like a stereotypical bombshell athlete that people want to see on their screens. Anyway. Yeah, all that problem. Do you think there's some things one can never forgive themselves for? I think it's always good to forgive yourself if you are working on things. Like, if I were, like, I don't know, if I were to ever, I would not, this is a hypothetical. Like, if I were to ever murder somebody, I can't even think about that. I wouldn't be able to. Let me think about, like, if you're a serial killer, let's say, and if you murder all these people, first of all, I feel like there's gotta be something mentally going wrong. And some of these people, like, I don't think they can change those things. So it's like, should you forgive yourself for things that you're not remorseful for, but you can't help it because of how your brain is wired? I think that's a very complex question. And there's that thought about serial killers, like, can they actually control these impulses? And of course, there's a lot of links. I've read books about, there's this guy who is a brain doctor. Yeah, like a neurosurgeon or something of the sort. And he got a brain scan done and realized that he himself is a sociopath based off of the brain scans of serial killers who are also diagnosed with sociopathy. And he realized that after thinking about that he is a sociopath, but he's like, I had a really good childhood, and if I didn't, I'd probably end up turning into a serial killer. I'm like, oh my god, that's so scary to think about. So I think most things are forgivable, but there's a gray area where it's like, if you're not remorseful, it's like, why aren't you remorseful? I feel like if you hold shame, though, that makes you more likely to repeat bad patterns as well. So it's like, it's probably better for people to, but I don't know if that means you should, if you don't want to change. But then you probably don't care if you don't want to change in those kinds of circumstances, those extreme circumstances. Try to be better. Hi, Chippy. Yeah, bedbound for 20 years. Like, is there in America, I know we don't have this in some European countries. I know you can do like ethical euthanasia. I'm not saying other people can live their life however they want to, but like if that were me, I would be like, can I like medical euthanasia? I'll just reincarnate or hopefully never reincarnate again. By the way, when I say that, I feel like people think I like am really depressed. I'm like, I'm not. But life is suffering. If I were to like just be this spirit that lived it eternally, just like in heaven or this other peaceful realm, and just be like that for the rest of time, because that's like the principle of reincarnation with Buddhism. It's like you'll keep evolving and reincarnating until you're fully evolved. Hopefully that's true for me one day soon, because life is suffering. But anyway, I've been through enough too. It's like, alright, I have so many freaking health issues, man. I don't need more. The team that I work with is good with patients, to be honest. That's really good. Well, I bet they're better in other countries. We are understaffed, at least in America. But that's also because we don't, like, I hear about this all the time. People try to apply to medical school and then they get denied because there's a cap on how many people can be admitted. I'm like, y'all wonder why we're short staffed everywhere. And then there's some people who are also quitting because the environment isn't good. And like, Carla, let me know what you think about this. I don't know how it is where you are. People work 12-hour shifts typically, if you're like at least in an ER setting. Like doctors and nurses work like 12-hour shifts typically. It's like, I feel like that's not good. And then people also do like back-to-back shifts, so it's like 24 hours. I feel like that's not safe for the patient either. I feel like there should be better working conditions for nurses and doctors. And then also I think the ones that are not nice would be nicer. Yeah, I got January. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm reading her autobiography, Katie Ledecky. She is amazing. Miriam, hi. Hi, Charlotte. How did that feel, Zenith, to wake up next to that? I feel like that would be peaceful. But maybe if it wakes you up, then you're like, that's not peaceful, I want sleep. 16 to 18 hours? See, that's not right. Maybe you're fine with that, but no offense, Carla. Even if you're fine with that, I feel like that's not right. You need sleep. Do you ever listen to me while you're at work? Like, on your break or anything? I'm not saying you have to, but like, I wonder how... No. Thank you, Charlotte. I think I like 4 on 3 off. She's at work right now, bro. Why does this happen then? I think it's because people want patients to be hopefully with the same person that they're seeing, that they have been seeing. Like if you go into the ER or urgent care, then it's the same person you have been seeing instead of multiple different shifts. But it's like, that's gonna happen anyway. That just freaks me out. I don't know how people can do that. And I feel like it's harder to have alone time and downtime when you get off work. Are you even able to eat? Like, how do you, like, if you're just, like, doing something, like, and it's really tragic, or, like, something's gross and you have to, like, eat, it's like, oh my god, do they even give you time to eat? Like, what if you're in the middle of something? You can't just be like, okay, well, my break was supposed to be half an hour ago. So then that sucks. And then your blood sugar levels, what if you're diabetic or you have health issues? I know people with POTS who are still nurses and doctors, and they're like, yeah, it sucks being on my feet all the time, and it sometimes makes me feel like I'm gonna faint. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. I think it's better to be overstaffed in a hospital or in a clinic as opposed to understaffed in case of emergencies or there's just a lot going on. Yeah, what floor are you working? But I really do appreciate the work you do, Carla. I would not. But also, have you seen those videos, Carla? Hi, Josie. unruly cat. Josie, were you listening to me in the beginning of the stream? Because seriously, I was talking about how my cat, you can't see him now because of how he's situated, he's trying to sleep. Plotting. He's plotting. For my cat, just knowing how your cat operates, my cat does worse when I ignore him or when I keep shaming him. So if you are nice to him and you're just like, don't do that, and you give them pets and say that I still love you, that helps. Aurora, hi. People are, well, we're talking about a lot of stuff, but also you can ask for advice on anything. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, but Carla, there's people, quite a bit of people who I know from school, well, I want to say everybody except for one person that I know that I went to high school with, who became a nurse or a doctor or like some sort of physical therapist or something. A lot of people went to like more the physical therapy, occupational therapy route too. But the people I know who went into that were the mean girls, except for one person. I would hate. I've been around those mean girls. Carla, is there a lot of? I hear there's cliques too within nurses. At least in America, there's cliques. Is there cliques where you are? Or does everybody get along? Josie, he's still a jerk. That's really interesting. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I have to be there and see. Like, I'm really good at picking up on the vibes. So it's like, okay, you can always try different things and see what sticks, you know? But don't introduce a lot of things all at once. Maybe give them treats when they're being good. That's what's helped him. He used to be so bad in the middle of the night. He's a lot better now. Like, a lot better, because I told my mom we should start giving him treats in the morning when he's good. And then now he's almost always just good, and so then we give him treats in the morning. He expects that. He associates that. Yeah, Carla. Thank you, Charlotte. Ooh, Josie. Ooh. Ooh. You know what's interesting? My sister's high school boyfriend, I don't know if I'd be friends with him nowadays because of politics, but also, like, he knew my mom was queer too, and he was fine with it. Anyway, I don't know if he's a police officer. I didn't keep up with him after they had broken up many years ago. But I think he was for sure a security guard, but I think he wanted to be a police officer. I'm pretty sure. And it's really weird because, like, he was actually, like, a really nice guy, but I don't know. But it's like, are you really all that nice if you become a police officer in America? I don't know if I'd be able to be friends with a police officer in America. But then it's like, how is it going to get better if we don't have any good people in there? I don't know what the solution is. I think people have ideas for, like, what to do, but I'm like, I don't know what kind of solutions there are. AK Bravo, your name is Anthony. Hi, Anthony. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. Think of things you want advice on, peoples. Yes, but the same as any type of job, but it's to another level because of the people you're doing shifts with are assholes and selfish. It's much harder and dangerous. Yeah, exactly. Also, why did this go down in brightness? Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I've thought about that too. If you don't get along with your nurses or doctors, or if you always disagree on what you should do, it's a lot harder in dire situations to problem solve. For all of y'all in cliques in high school, I was just friends with the nerds, I guess. Because I was a nerd. I wasn't a nerd because I was smart. I just wanted to do well in school. You know what I know got me to start doing really well in schools. In first grade, they had this wall. When you would enter into the school and you would exit the school, they had this wall for people in each, like in each classroom in each grade. And it would say like who was one of the top 3 students of the week, and my parents would look at that, and I noticed I wouldn't be on that, so then I started being really good in school. This was in first grade. I was like fine before, but like I would be a teacher's pet, and so then I would do really good, and then if I didn't make it one week, I would be really sad if I didn't make it on that wall. So then ever since then, I think subconsciously it's like I've wanted to do really well in school because it got positive attention from the parents. That's how it is for me. So I wasn't good at school, but then also when I got older, it was because I wanted to make something of my life, and around where I lived, it's like that meant going to college. So, do you think Trinity makes any sense? What do you mean? Carla, do you like being a nurse? Be honest. So how to stop being so anxious? When you know, let me know. For me, what helps me is when I visualize myself grounding and when I focus on my breathing. Also, there's certain like doing stuff like on my palm or like squeezing my hand really helps. There's certain pressure points in the ear too that when I squeeze, it helps me relax a bit more. And reminding yourself that if you're worrying about something you have no control over and you keep worrying about it, that you worrying about it won't help. That might help. Yeah, getting the feeling of being accomplished used to give me so much dopamine, but it doesn't come along as much now that I'm going to be 30. I got you, Henry. Henry, what you do matters. Even if you should focus more on like what's important to you. Hopefully other people will find value in what you do, but at the end of the day, it's all about you finding value in what you do. Angelica ASMR, yes. I'm really bad at names, but yes. Yeah. I told my crush I liked her. How did that go? You're welcome, Henry. I wanted to be a nurse since I was a kid. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you like the job, but not the system you work within. Yeah. I gotcha. And in Portugal, is health insurance free in Portugal, Carla? Because I imagine that's part of the reason people here, the nurses and doctors, get more stress is because of insurance. Can y'all hear me rubbing on my pants, by the way? I don't know. How many I can. Black boy. You went good? Do they like you back? If I talk about insurance too much, I will cry. Especially with what Trump's trying to do right now. I'll just say this, it will directly impact me if what Trump's trying to do right now, insurance-wise, goes into effect. Directly. And then I won't have any insurance. So, Carla, are there people... does everybody have access to free insurance then? Hi, Barry. For me, it is the afternoon. But good morning to you. based on income. Because, Black Boy, there were people that didn't vote, and there were people that voted third party as well. Also, the Conservative Party is really good at platforming certain voices and amplifying those voices, like Trump and people who also, like Elon Musk, like Fox News, for example, and right-wing podcasters. They're able to highlight these voices. Left-wing politicians do not utilize social media like they should, except for Bernie and AOC. And they do not go on like podcasts and do all these things as much as they should. And also a big issue is because of the war going on. I don't know if I can say on here the G word, Geno, going on in Gaza. Even though I know there's a ceasefire going on right now, a ceasefire deal that's happened, it's not all completely done right now. But because of that, that's the main reason people voted third party or did not vote at all. Plus, I think, in my opinion, Trump and his followers have a very cultish following, and I don't understand, because people say the number one reason they voted for Trump this time around is because to better the economy. It's like, do y'all not understand what he's doing? It's literally going to worsen the economy, and y'all are gonna have to start paying more. It's more than just the tariffs too. It's like, y'all, how do people not understand how just because somebody themselves is a millionaire or a billionaire does not mean that you will become one. Just because they are the leader of a nation does not mean you will become one. It's just going to further the gap between the rich and the poor, and the middle class continues to shrink away and disappear. Everyone can have access to a hospital and primary care. That's really good to hear, Carla. People here can, but then you'll just be in debt for the rest of your life. And then there's like inflation or interest on that. So if you just don't pay it, then you have to keep paying more and more. So, I disagree with you, Henry. I do not think he has good ideas. Yeah, I'll get banned. Hi, Brenda. Sorry, no spit painting today. I'm just answering questions and talking about stuff. If people have advice. It got terminated because of that? Is that what they had said? That's why it got terminated? Like, what do you mean? Because he showed a brother mourning his sister. Okay, well, I only said Jen. And that's just my personal opinion, and my opinion only. This is not a good start to the year, y'all. 2025. Off top, how is he doing? As bad as you can imagine. Well, I don't know like where you stand, but I definitely did not vote for Trump. Trump is a very dangerous person, and I stand by that. And I've said before on here, like, if there's anybody who is subscribed to me who voted for Trump, those aren't the kind of people who I want watching me, because I wouldn't feel safe. So, also, me being non-binary, like, I apparently don't even exist in the eyes of Trump and a lot of conservatives, so yeah. That's how I feel. I'm not afraid to say it. To each their own is correct. But also, there's a reason I don't have people in my life who, like, clearly I've said this, the last straw for me, like, I barely talked to my dad before. The last straw for me, completely blocking him on everything, was the fact that he voted for Trump. And I told him that. I should have gone no contact with him a lot sooner, but I didn't talk to him much anyway. But then after I found that out, I'll literally have him blocked on everything. I'm not doing it. That's why they banned it. I'm so sorry, Black Boy. That's really weird that they did. I know, Carla, because people think that he's going to better the economy. It's like, no, he's not. It's literally, we're probably going to go into a recession. Like, I'm not even kidding you. It's just crazy. I don't have conversations with people who don't care about my human rights, so. Free speech is important, but when it comes to people who support Trump, it's not about them seeing my humanhood. It's not about human rights. It's just not. It's about fear. What are you talking about, Henry? Yeah. Also, there's talks about how, what is it, the 19th Amendment, right? No, it's not the, which one? 14th, 19th, 14th. People are talking about the 14th. So bad. The amendment that deals with a woman being able to vote, it is in the talks that might be potentially taken away or pushed hard to be taken away. So then I wouldn't even be able to vote either. But yeah, we don't have to talk about why, too much in-depth why I do not like Trump more than I've already stated, but there are many reasons as to why that I feel like even people who voted for him, it's like, I don't understand. Because he's not here to help you. He's not. In what way? He's not going to better the economy, I can tell you that. And that's the thing. People vote conservative because they think that automatically is a vote for a candidate who's more religious. Henry, you can just say you voted for Trump. That's fine. And then if you say that, then I'll just stop engaging in this conversation. Because I've already had conversations with people like this. I literally grew up in North Dakota and I live in a small town. And the things I've heard make me sick to my stomach. So, Black Boy, I truly realized it only last year. I realized from honestly watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race. And it made me realize that, and remember when I was younger and in middle school, I always thought I was a boy in middle school, throughout middle school. Or that, not that I was a boy, but I would wish I was a boy, because we didn't have those kinds of terms back then. And now I wouldn't identify like as a boy, but now I understand like there's parts to me that are non-binary and woman. And so my pronouns are she, they. I wouldn't mind being referred to as she, they, him in the future. I'm just not at that point yet. If I lived somewhere differently, I would feel more comfortable with that, like just being full on like any of the pronouns, but for now I go by she, they. And for me, a lot of it is dependent on what I'm doing or my mood for how I would prefer to be referred to. So yeah. And taking money from first of all, I think it's fine for people to, what do you even mean by taking money from giant corporations? I don't even know what you mean by that. But if you're talking about celebrities, most people in America are not celebrities. So if you're So if you're lumping every single American person in with celebrities, that's just not the case. Most people are not celebrities. And also the people you're talking about who are rich, have private jets, and have a bunch of different homes are oftentimes just really rich people who are heads of corporations, are heads of big businesses, and likely promote a business that does not provide equal pay, does not provide adequate pay in their businesses that they run. Do I get offended if people misgender you? When I was younger, people would call me he, him. I had really short hair. Like, it did not look good. I thought jawline was right here, and she cut my hair to here. The hairstylist, and I was crying after she cut my hair. Yeah, it was hair that was right here. So when I was younger, people would call me he, him. So nobody ever refers to me as he, him nowadays. So I don't have an issue with people misgendering me because technically I would be fine with any pronoun, but I go by she, they. If anybody were to refer to me as he, it just wouldn't bother me. The LA wildfires. I haven't checked on that yesterday or today, I don't think, but I know that LA got rain, and I think that helped, but I know that it's still not over. They're still expecting dangerous conditions there. I think the fires are not completely out yet. The main ones, Eaton and Palisades Fire, I don't think that they're out yet. Hi, Frankie. So I don't know, like, as of today, how all that is, but I'm pretty sure they're not all fully out yet. I'll have to check. Maybe they could be. I don't think so, though. You're not bringing up my trauma as much as it seems like you're defending a political party that I do not identify with and that I think is very toxic. So, yeah. But it's worked. It's a lot of people are under the spell of Trumpism right now. My personal opinion. Like, he can do no wrong in a lot of people's eyes, which makes no sense to me. Because then people will get directly impacted as well by the things he's doing and say that that they still like his policies, even if it makes it so people become homeless or don't have insurance. It's just, I just don't get it. Yeah, I completely disagree, Henry. Yeah, Bernie, for anybody who follows me on Instagram, that's why I'm like, y'all, well, if anybody who follows me on Instagram, you know where I stand, because I post about, I think it's good to be political, especially in these times when people like me are supposedly being erased from history in the eyes of Trump and other people. And I follow Bernie. I post some of his stuff. I look at his Instagram pages, both of them, every day. I keep up to date with him more than any politician. And yeah, so I see what he's up to and all that. Which country should I choose? Thank you, Carla. Should I choose for my MSc graduation? USA, UK. Don't come to the United States. Because literally, right now, in the United States, if you were to come in as a student, well, right now, people are literally being deported out of the States if you're not a natural-born citizen here, okay? So that includes people who are students. It's like, if you come in here, you might not be able to leave, like, go back home, or you just might not even be able to come into the country in general. Do not come to the United States. Do not. Go to the UK. Go to the UK. Do not. I'm not saying don't come here, because I would love to have you here. Why not? Hi, Siba. But it wouldn't be safe for anybody who's not a natural born citizen. And basically what that means is anybody who's not a natural born citizen and who is not white. It would not be good. Yeah. But yeah, if anybody keeps up with American politics, you know, I'm in Minnesota and Tim Walz is the governor of Minnesota. So if Kamala would have won the presidency, then Tim Walz would have become the vice president of the United States. But thankfully we still have him because he does a lot. He continues to do a lot of good stuff here. He's pushing back on a lot of the things Trump is trying to do to make sure that they don't affect Minnesota law. Blaming him, yeah, definitely not. Most definitely not. Most definitely not. And y'all have to remember too, like, when the George Floyd protests were going on and when George Floyd had been blanked, you know, that's in Minnesota, so there was a lot of stuff going on here and a lot of people would have discussions about it, and I've literally, when all that was going on, there's somebody locally who I would go to their shop quite a bit, and they were talking about how people were blowing it out of proportion and like basically who cares kind of situation. I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry, Josie. I'm sorry. Is it me? Is it me? I'm sorry. Hopefully next time it will be more relaxing for you. I was hoping people would ask for advice, but I guess it just turned into political talk. Hi, Kurt. I got you, Josie. I feel ya. Take care of yourself, okay? It won't be this upsetting in the next one, I promise. We won't have to talk politics. I understand. Take care of yourself. I think it's no, hopefully your mom, well, I don't know your mom, but I can tell you right now that any feelings that you have are valid and that if you need help and you're able to get it, to please get that. But I'm really glad that you exist and that you're here. And if you tell your mom and she's mad, then yeah, I guess you know where she stands, but know that you're not a bad person. Black boy, we're not dealing with that at all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can say whatever you want to me. Do not come for the people in the chat. Absolutely do not. This is a safe space. We're not dealing with that. I don't deal with that at all. You don't want to see Mama Bear Brittney come out. Because, y'all, I said I used to have anger issues. If people attack the people that I care about, I watch Drag Race. I have a quick wit. Watching Drag Race helps me even have a quicker wit. I'm very quick when I need to be with my words. They cut like a knife. Do not mess with Mama Brittney. I'm more like an aunt. Do not mess with Auntie Brittney. Okay? Be nice in the chat. Have this a safe environment. No sexual innuendos toward anybody. Okay? I'm sweet. I say as I say, and my words cut like a knife. Thank you. I was thinking earlier, I'm like, I'm a very multifaceted person. I feel like I would describe myself as not one note. I have many parts to myself. Whenever I've been on first dates with people always say I'm different than how I'm portrayed, like through text and stuff. I'm like, is that a compliment? I don't know. Thank you, Carla. Thank you. Love my hair. Thank you. My cat is still asleep. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. I don't know. I give off, well, I want to say Gemini energy, but I have a lot of Aries placements for real, so when you have Aries and Gemini, I have similar energies to me. I tend to get along well with Aries people. You're a Gemini, that makes sense, Henry. My dad is a Gemini too. What color's my eye, Daniel? Here, let me use to do it myself better. What color are they today? I think they're just green today. Usually they're either green or blue or a mixture between the two. Oh, that rhymes. Green or blue or a mixture between the two. Green or blue or a mixture between the two. Daniel, you don't like Geminis? Rhythms are nice. Rhythms are nice. Rhythms are nice. Sugar and spice. Sugar and Spice are the name of twin drag queens, by the way. It's so weird that I bring that up because I was thinking about them earlier today. Sorry, you probably heard me swallow. Your dad was too. And also Gemini, the symbol for Gemini is twins. And my dad is a twin. And me and my sister are twins. And on my dad's side, further back, they have, for a generation before him, his mom had siblings that were twins as well. I don't know if that's what that means, but you can be Gemini and not bipolar. I'm sorry to hear that, Henry. Do you take medication for that at all, or do you go to therapy? You think that your teacher hated you? Honestly, that sucks. A lot of teachers do play favoritism, even if they say they don't. It happened all throughout my school career as well. So all you have to do is just focus on yourself, and you don't need the validation of that teacher to be a good person, you know? Was it the 23rd of different months, or are you triplets? Different months. Daniel, you just have to remember people have their own bodily autonomy, and people are able to do what they like to with their lives, even if we don't like it. So make sure you're not pressuring anybody to do anything, because it's not good for you or them. There is a lot of racism. Yep, a lot of racism in the United States. And yeah, I have always lived in smaller areas, so there's a lot more likely to be racism within those areas. Even schools nearby me are now following suit and getting rid of DEI initiatives. Target, which is based in Minnesota and is headquartered here, and I believe also began in Minnesota. Target is now rolling back their DEI initiatives as well, which is very harmful and dangerous. In my opinion, it makes it a lot harder for inclusion to happen within the workspace. So, yeah, I'm not saying that there's not racism. Like, the other person was it you or somebody else talking about USA versus UK to go to school? It's probably still not the best in the UK, but dang, is it bad in America? Can I go somewhere? What do you mean? I can't just go to the mall. Since I last checked, more snow has been melting outside. Living in Portland around 4 months and just a student here. I'm also from Turkey. Most people looking at me like I'm an Arab or something like the other nation. In Poland. Interesting. Are you enjoying your school experience there so far otherwise? Or are there still people who are friendly to you? Are there many people who are less white, I guess? Jim, how am I feeling today? It's not a good day today. Not a good day today, Jim. I'm also gonna have to hop off here in a few minutes anyway, but yeah, Jim, do you have any advice before I head out? Hi, Paul from Sweden. You're welcome, Carla. Yeah, Jim, you probably know Josie, Jinx Josie. She had hopped on. She was on here, but she had to hop off earlier. The chat was getting to be too much for her. But, so we've been talking about stuff. We certainly have. But yeah. How to forgive yourself for silly things you did when you were younger? That's hard because literally, like, at least once a day I think about something from my childhood. You know what I do a lot? I'll think about something, like, and inadvertently go, like to myself. It's like I cringe so hard. I'm like, I like do that. I'm like, sometimes when I'm driving, I'll do that too, and I'm like, oh, hopefully people didn't see me do that. But like, I have a physical reaction to when I think about things from when I'm younger, so I don't really have the best advice. My best advice, like, well, you know what? Doing stuff like that, like, or like dragon's breath, like stuff like that. It's actually supposed to help release tension that you have. But the best thing you can do is just remember that you maybe didn't have as much information as you do now, and you would do things differently now, but you can't change the past, so you just have to move forward, and hopefully if a similar situation happens, you know how to handle things better, and if not, hopefully you can have the ability to learn to do things better. Most of the people are racist against me. I'm just trying to enjoy my life without party, alcohol, drugs, and without women, but they thought about me like, you're furry, sure, I know. I don't know what Therians are. I'm so sorry, naughty boy Emir. Do you think you'll switch colleges, go somewhere else after this semester? I hope you can find people that you get along with and that you feel safe around. There's not really racism in Pakistan. That's really good to hear. I'm a good person, probably. Yeah, by the way, all this, I am not I'm not a health professional, I'm not a therapist, I'm not licensed in anything. This is all just my own personal opinion, my own advice, from my own personal experience and what I've seen, what I've encountered in life. But yeah, I think I will leave it at that. I gotta get going on my taxes and my phone battery's low. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, everybody, for hopping on. That's true, Carla. Big city is less problematic. The thing is, though, if I were to move somewhere like a bigger city, I'd have to be somewhere like more on the outskirts, because it's like I get overstimulated very easily, and I wouldn't want to deal with the traffic. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. be good to yourself, everybody. If you'd like to become a channel member, you can for as low as 99 cents. The link is down below, or it is youtube.com/Brittney'sASMR/join. You can like this video, it helps me out a lot, and you can subscribe. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. But I'm sorry, Amir. Hopefully you can find a good community of people soon. But yeah, bye everybody.